Je me nomme Sigurt. J'ai massacré les membres du Nouvel Ordre. J'ai pactisé avec les Hydras. J'ai traversé l'oblivion. Et je t'ai ramené, Rigmor. Te souviens-tu de moi ? Te souviens-tu de qui tu es ? Enfin, on est rentré. Toute cette guerre ne nous concerne plus. Rigmor est libre. Rigmor est libre.
I think we had better talk, Dragonborn. Yes?
Oui, que s'est-il passé en notre absence ? Ai-je raté des choses importantes ?
Sethri arrived earlier. What an obnoxious elf. He took a bath in the lake and hasn't gotten dressed since. He has been annoying Angie, too. You might want to tell him to put some clothes on. I tried to tell him earlier, but he insists it's his farmhouse, and he thinks he can do whatever he likes.
Oui, je vais aller lui en parler. Est-ce que Barendar est encore là ?
Yes, he's around somewhere. How has Rigmor been?
Elle va mieux, beaucoup mieux. Sa mémoire lui est grandement revenue, même si elle ne sera plus jamais comme avant, mais qu'importe.
That's good to know. Dragonborn.
Oui, quelque chose à me dire ?
Thank you, Dragonborn,
Merci pour quoi ?
for being here for me.
Je serai toujours là pour toi. Repose-toi, tu l'as bien mérité. Tu dois être épuisé, non ?
Yes, I will.
N'oublie pas, désormais, tu es libre. Tu n'as plus à faire quoi que ce soit si tu n'en as pas envie. Tous ces conflits ne te regardent plus.
Good night, Dragonborn.
Bonne nuit, Rigmor. Ah, Citri. Décidément, chaque fois que je vous vois, vous portez une tenue nouvelle.
Fear not.
Sauf qu'aujourd'hui, il semble que vous ayez oublié de la mettre.
I'm not naked. I've got a pair of pants on.
You would do well to make yourself decent. There are ladies present.
Whoa there. We don't all have a huge mansion in Torval. It's the heat.
Chaleur, c'est vite dit. On est toujours à bord de ciel.
Well met.
Plus sérieusement, pourquoi êtes-vous ici, Citri ?
The invasion fleet you're expecting has been spotted out to sea off the coast of Morrowind. Thought you'd want to know.
Ils ont finalement fait le grand tour. Malin.
They should be here anytime soon.
Bon.
Tidings.
Barendar, quelle nouvelle de Cyrodiil ?
Our allies are ready to pounce. Once the invasion starts, countermeasures will be taken. The Dominion is waiting for the moment to strike on the Isle. Once the new order lands in Skyrim, Mead will feign troop movements north to expose the Southern Army and crush them on the border of Cyrodiil.
Bien, il faut uniquement que l'on se concentre sur Edriath et ses troupes en bord du ciel.
Yes.
How does a man get some decent food around here? Talking about plans.
Well met, Dragonborn. Ingle and I thought it wise to discuss the coming invasion. Do you have any suggestions regarding the defense of Skyrim from the enemy forces?
We could try and throw them back into the sea, but we don't know when or where they'll land. We'll be outnumbered, so we have to choose our ground wisely.
The swamps around Hjalmark are not suited to Legion tactics. We will become bogged down. The mud will kill us.
They have only a few options open to them, too. What's the bet they'll avoid Solitude and Windhelm and go for broke?
Yes, If I were in Adriath's position, I would avoid a lengthy siege. He doesn't even know if the southern army group will advance in good time, if at all it defeats Titus's army. So a suppressing force on the Pale Border and one at Dragon Bridge will effectively cut off Solitude and Windhelm, while the main bulk of troops head straight for Whiterun. That's what I would do. As Ingall just said, go for broke.
Yeah, he has to get his army out of the swamp immediately, like a lightning strike within 24 hours of landing. If they take the city of Whiterun, the war in Skyrim is over. He would be free to take Solitude and Windhelm at will.
He'll protect his flank.
Setri, for heaven's sakes, put some clothes on.
With a small force.
Pauvre reine, lui qui a un meilleur flair que nous. Allez, Setri, soyons sérieux.
As you wish. I'll go get dressed.
Hey,
Cassius, dès que le nouvel ordre posera le pied sur bord de ciel, je veux que vous déplaciez vos troupes vers Blancherive, du côté ouest.
excellent. The walls will protect our right flank. He has no choice but to come for us. We can draw his main force into ground of our choosing and take the head off the serpent.
Hey,
Ingol, votre rôle et celui de vos soldats sera plutôt défensif.
the classic textbook maneuver. Pin him down and outflank to the left. We can use the Whiterun garrison to boost my numbers.
Hey,
Nos forces ne devraient pas manquer, mais d'où risque-t-il le plus de venir?
there's two options open for him, through the mountain pass at Labyrinthian, or across the plains via Dragon Bridge. Either way, we will be waiting outside the city. With my encampment on the Pale Border and Ingall's camp outside Windhelm, he would need a protracted campaign to take that area, so he will avoid it.
Come, Cassius. We can discuss the logistics on the way back to our garrisons. We'll keep you informed of the situation, Guardian.
À bientôt, mes amis. Les ennemis arriveront certainement par Aube-Étoile, avant de passer par Yalmarsh. Les montagnes du Clos et des forts d'hiver leur seraient fatales.
Need something?
Reine, vous disiez que parfois, pour se souvenir de ce que l'on est, il faut revenir loin en arrière.
Yes, but you mentioned Rigmor's memory has returned?
Oui, et j'en suis très heureux, mais j'ai peur qu'en l'état, elle ne puisse pas supporter des révélations futures.
We need to make one more connection. We need to find something that will link her to the past. Maybe something from her childhood? You have spoken to her at length. Has she confided in you? Something very personal she feels guilty about?
Oui, elle évoque souvent son père, la déception qu'elle pense représenter, le fils qu'elle n'a jamais été, le fait qu'elle l'aurait abandonné.
That he trained her to be the son he never had. She told that to me. And with all that has gone on, maybe she doesn't feel worthy of her task set by her father. None of that was her fault. There was nothing she could have done to protect her father, or more importantly, in this case, her mother. Only hate and revenge fueled her until recently. Now Sigunn is safe, but what of her father's love?
Vous pensez que cela expliquerait aussi pourquoi elle ne veut pas prendre d'épée? Elle se croirait indigne?
We must reconnect her with the past. She needs to rediscover her father's love. It must come from a source not connected with her life since he was murdered. Sometimes it can be an item. Do you know of anything? Maybe Sigunn would know. Has she mentioned about Rigmor's childhood?
Eh bien, il y a quelque temps, elle avait parlé d'une poupée de paille de chiffon qu'avait fabriqué son père. Si ça peut l'aider, je peux en fabriquer une.
Don't worry, she will be fine. Give her time. Go and speak to Sigunn.
Bien, à plus tard, reine.
Yes?
Sigunn, vous vous rappelez de cette poupée que Ragnar avait fabriquée pour Rigmor?
Yes, the one she gave to the little dark elf girl. Why are you asking?
Eh bien, cela pourrait lui rappeler à quel point son père l'aimait. Elle est devenue très négative concernant ce sujet.
It was just a piece of old dowling with a sackcloth dress and string hair.
J'imagine que c'est un peu tiré par les cheveux comme idée, mais je ferai n'importe quoi. Comment s'appelait cette poupée?
She called it Jenny.
Merci Sigunn. Je ferai un voyage vers Fayez dans la matinée pour faire quelques achats. Croisons les doigts.
I hope one day this will all be over so I can take her home. Maybe we can live a normal life. Start over. I hope the doll helps.
Allez, un peu de repos ne me fera pas de mal non plus. Ouf, je n'ai pas fait de rêve étrange cette fois. Rigmor doit être dehors. Ah, elle est là, près du lac. Je devrais lui proposer de venir avec moi à Fayez. Même si cette ville est mal famée, elle l'apprécie énormément. Et d'ailleurs, moi aussi.
Dragonborn?
C'est moi. Sincèrement, je ne sais pas si le lac est beau en soi, ou si c'est ta présence qui le rend magnifique. Je pense tout de même avoir une petite idée.
Okay.
La ferme te plaît?
Sorella seems to be happy.
Oui, c'est une bonne gamine.
Follows Angie around like a lost little puppy. I'm so pleased for her.
Maintenant, elle n'est plus si perdue, la chanceuse.
Yeah.
D'ailleurs, en parlant de petites créatures égarées,
What?
il y en a une qui me suit partout et je n'arrive pas à m'en débarrasser.
Dragonborn, stop it. I noticed you and Angie aren't talking.
Ouais, c'est un peu sensible.
What? Come on. What have you done?
Lorsqu'il a fallu évacuer tout le monde du camp d'Engie, j'ai dû me rendre à Épervine.
Go on.
Je devais seulement y rencontrer un type, afin d'acheter un poney à la taille de Sorella.
By the gods, She loves that pony. So what happened?
J'ai été impliqué dans une petite bagarre dans l'auberge.
Little fight?
Ouais, genre 6 soldats impériaux, 4 officiers talmor et un capitaine impérial.
I guess they don't call it the dead man's drink for nothing, right? I'm sorry. What happened next?
L'un des impériaux se l'a raconté à propos de, je cite, la cinglée dans les montagnes.
Oh no. Was he...
Je ne voulais pas me battre, Rigmor. Je voulais simplement mettre tout le monde en sécurité, loin des pervines, prendre le poney et me tirer.
And?
Et le capitaine m'a reconnu, a crié que j'étais le gardien, et ensuite...
Then the crap hit the fan, right?
Ouais. Puis, j'ai retrouvé le collier d'Engie sur l'un des corps, avant de le lui ramener.
And she hasn't spoken to you since, right? I noticed her crying lately. She tries to hide it. Maybe it's brought it all back, Dragonborn. Try talking to her.
Je ne sais pas, je pense qu'il vaut mieux qu'elle fasse ce deuil elle-même. J'ai peur de rendre les choses encore pires.
Maybe you're right.
On peut peut-être parler d'autre chose, de plus joyeux.
Okay.
Ta mère a l'air d'être heureuse ici.
What's there not to be happy about? You saved her, right?
Tu veux dire, nous l'avons sauvée. Tu ne l'as tout de même pas oublié, si?
Whatever. She's still hurting and misses Dad. Sometimes it can take many years for people to recover, you know? I miss him too. So she loses herself in chores and stuff and keeps herself busy.
Tu lui as déjà demandé ce qui lui était arrivé après votre séparation?
No, never. That's one thing we don't talk about. Some people say there are things you don't need to talk about. You just know, right? You can tell by the look in someone's eyes. Maybe one day she'll move on. Maybe find someone.
Ça ne te ferait pas bizarre?
Why shouldn't I be? I want her to be happy.
Dans ce cas, j'ai remarqué les regards que lui portait cette fille.
No. No. Dragonborn. Oh, God. Don't you dare.
Ah, je plaisante. Quoique,
Don't even go there.
aucun risque.
Okay.
Et toi, tu te poses des questions particulières?
I wonder what Rose is doing now.
Je ne sais pas. Mais elle a eu de la chance en s'échappant de...
Fort Black.
Elle m'avait dit qu'elle souhaitait ouvrir une auberge sur la côte dorée.
Really? I owe both of you my life. I hope one day to be able to pay her back in some way. Those bastards. They chased me all the way to the cliff and I'm like, uh-oh, this is becoming a habit. I just launched myself into that tree. I don't remember much after that.
Ça avait bien freiné ta chute, mais tu étais sacrément amoché.
Did you ever see that scar I got from the fall? I almost tore myself in two. Must have got hung up on something on the branches on the way down.
Rigmor, j'ai pu voir toutes tes cicatrices.
I know, right?
J'ai une dernière petite question.
Okay.
C'était comment dans le domaine de Barendar?
It's huge. The province is split into 2 factions. The main appointed him emissary of Palatine, which is a client state of the Dominion. His estate is in Torval, which sits on the western edge of the Tenmar forest. It's quite humid there, but damp with the lush canopy. If you travel north, it gradually changes into a desert. But inside the walls of the embassy estate, you find huge gardens of imported plants, flowers, and trees. Some of which I've never seen before, not even in Valenwood. I was protected under diplomatic immunity. Even though a client state, the Dominion didn't want to mess around. They feared if the 2 factions united, then there would be trouble. Balren told me they couldn't afford another rebellion. Not after Hammerfell.
Et toi dans tout ça?
I could breathe there, but it took me some time to recover. I wasn't in very good shape when we arrived there. It was quite weird, because although it was quiet, I couldn't talk then. For some time, it felt like my head was exploding, like 1,000 people all talking and shouting in my head at the same time. But the noise began to fade, and I could hear again. Balrendar had a beautiful library room. A lot of the books I had read, but some of the poetry, the books on the proverbs, really helped me. Oh, and nothing was off the table. I just had to ask, and it was there. All the people who worked there couldn't be helpful enough. Don't get me wrong, I had to do things for myself, but Izzy, she was Balren's maid, took great care of me when I arrived.
Easy?
Draisi Hassa. I couldn't move for weeks when I arrived there. She washed and cleaned me, anointed and fed me. I would wake up crying with the pain, and she would cry with me. Ever seen a Khajiit cry? Balren really liked her. And I mean liked her. She used to have him running around for her. I remember once I was in the gardens collecting flowers and wild roots. Balren comes running by and he's covered in water. I looked up and there was Izzy waving at me with the biggest grin on her face. I was like, "Hey Izzy, what's up?" And she's like, "That one." Wait. That one too hot. Purrs and sniffs. Izzy kur frisky kashit. Oh my. And do you know what?
Non, quoi?
Balren never said anything. It was as if nothing happened. Oh, Dragonborn. I miss Izzy. Hey, one day, let's go there. When all this is over. What do you say?
Avec plaisir.